Before we get started, I would like to advise that in the description box, you'll find the timestamps and links of the topics that I cover in this video. The content that isn't mine has been used with the permission of the creators. This video kicks off my quiet video series where I discuss topics that I think you would enjoy. However, they are produced in a non-ASMR way. One more thing, I also have a special announcement. Again, it's all included in the description box. Thank you. Hello everyone, this is Somni Rosae, the sleeps of the rose. Wherever you are, I hope that you are doing well. Today I am going to be talking about a video game called Gris. Because I'm not a gamer, this is not an actual game review. There are tons of videos for that on YouTube, and to get you started, I would like to recommend this video to you. It is fantastic. It's from Bugdet Gamer. The link is in the top corner of the video. I think he did a fantastic job in reviewing this game because he gives pros and cons, lots of wonderful feedback that I think you would enjoy. So check out his video. In the summer of 2018, I fell down through the rabbit hole of the internet. In this case, it was Twitter hashtags. One thing led to another, and I stumbled upon this beautiful illustration. I thought it was about an upcoming animated film, and I was surprised to find out that it had to do with a video game. I fell in love with the artwork, and I said to myself, if I am ever going to become a gamer, ever someday, or at least get back into playing one or two video games, Gris would be the reason. If you've ever wondered, what would a video game look like if it was combined with ASMR, or if it was designed for highly sensitive people, it would definitely look like this. I'm about to show you some clips. If you have Frisson, be prepared for those music chills. If you have synesthesia, you are in for a real treat. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Gris by Nomada Studios. I want all of you to write down your reactions in the comments below. Go right ahead. So here's some information about Nomada Studios and about the game. They are from Barcelona, Spain. Because I had some questions about the video game, I sent them an email and they got back to me. They confirmed that the name of the main character is indeed Gris. It means gray in Spanish, so it's pronounced Gris. It's also the same in French, but it would be pronounced Gris. The S is silent. Unless the noun that you are describing is feminine, then it's pronounced Grise. The S is pronounced as if it's the letter Z. I've also heard that Gris has different meaning in other languages, and if that's the case, please let us know in the comments below. So why did I like this game so much, and why do I think you, the ASMR community, would love this game? Well, here are my 4 reasons. Reason number 1, because it's a relaxing game to play. This is what the ASMR community is all about. We're always looking for quiet entertainment, something that we find relaxing, which isn't always available in different formats. And I know I am repeating myself in saying this. Yes, I'm not a gamer, but I think it would be safe to say that Gris is one of the very few games that are easy on the senses, the eyes, the ears, everything. Now, for playing the game, I found it to be 95% easy to play and 5% challenging. It did have some very interesting and difficult puzzles. Now, in other reviews, gamers have said that they finished this game in about 4 hours. It didn't take me that long. It took me, I think, 3 weeks, because I really took my time, because I found this game very relaxing. I was not in a hurry to complete it. I really wanted to enjoy the images and the whole atmosphere of the game. The game was also relaxing to play because there's no timeline. You're not in a rush to complete a task in a certain amount of time. Also, you don't die in this game. So again, it's mostly relaxing. But yes, there are some puzzles that to me were challenging to solve, and so I got a teeny little bit stressed, but that's to be expected. It's a game, it's a puzzle. But for the most part, it was relaxing. Reason number 2, the storyline. What is this game about? Well, it's about grief. Grief can be caused by all kinds of losses. It could be the loss of a loved one, a divorce, a loving relationship, the loss of, all kinds of things. So you see the different stages of grief: denial, anger, depression, and so forth, and it finishes with acceptance. These stages of grief are represented in different colors, and you see a lot of images that represent each of those emotions. Of course, all of these are up to interpretation, and I think you would really appreciate the images, and it would open up a discussion as to what this means to you and so forth. I am confident to say that this is about grief, because after I finished the game, I binge watched so many reviews on YouTube because I wanted to know more about the game. I wanted to know it inside out, And I also wanted to hear what others had to say. And out of the countless of videos and podcasts that I listened to, only 2 mentioned this Easter egg. So I've left that huge spoiler in the description box. So if you play the game, please go ahead and check it out, because this Easter egg really confirms that the storyline is about grief. It also explains why Gris collects the orbs and what they mean to her. It is absolutely fantastic. It's really special. So only if you've played the game, go ahead and check out the link. Gris depicts so many themes that are talked about a lot in the ASMR community, which are depression, sadness, loneliness. This is something that we are always talking about in our community, and it's the reason why we create these ASMR videos, is to help one another and create a welcoming community full of kindness as much as we can. And Gris promotes that. So that's one of the reasons why I think you would really like this game. So as you saw in the clips, Gris goes through tremendous loss. Her world is literally destroyed, and it's something that she has to rebuild throughout the game. When I finished the game, I went back and replayed some of my favorite chapters. One of the things I noticed is that the castle, I guess that's what you could call it, the castle that you see pretty much in every chapter in different colors, I thought that it was a different castle. It turns out that it's the same one. It just looks different because she is one by one putting it back together. And even in the end of the game, the castle is basically put back together. The trees that were once barren are now full of leaves. And there's color in this world, all kinds of colors. And even though she's rebuilt this world, this castle still has cracks through it. So it just goes to show that you can rebuild yourself after loss, but you are getting to know your new normal. You'll never be the same, but there is something new, and that loss can be healed, but you're left with these scars. But there isn't ugliness. To me, it just showed that even in loss, there is beauty. The one chapter that started as my favorite ended up being the hardest one for me to complete, and that was the blue chapter, which was water. And you see this element represented in all its formats: gas, liquid, and solids, ice, water, and clouds. So this section was my favorite because it begins with a lot of rain, and that is something that I really love. But then as you progress, you see these images of depression, and a lot of us have gone through this, and there was this sense of drowning. Nomada Studios really hit the nail on the head in the way that they depicted depression, because as I was playing this game, I strongly felt that I'm like, oh yes, Gris is going through depression. What was my motivation throughout the whole game? It was to help Gris swim out of that depression. Whatever negative feeling that she was experiencing, my motivation was to help her get to a better place, a safe place, and a place where she could find healing. That was my motivation to complete this game. Even though I was the one controlling Gris, I kept encouraging her and saying, Gris, swim out of it. You can do it. Swim out of it. Let's find a solution. Let's solve this puzzle so that we can move to the next chapter. I became invested in Gris. I became attached to her because a lot of the emotions that she was going through, well, it's safe to say a lot of us have gone through that. And so, again, you want her to be in a better emotional state. Reason number 3, ambience and color. As I've stated at the beginning of this video, this game is very relaxing to play. One of the things I've personally experienced with other games in the past is that I get a lot of motion sickness because these games are done so well. It's like virtual reality, and I mean, you pretty much feel that you are in that environment, and they're very fast paced and a lot of jumping, a lot of loud noises. So I get this motion sickness and I can't play those games for too long. I think I only last like 2 minutes and then I'm done. And that's pretty much the reason why I stopped playing games a long time ago, because there wasn't anything for me. Gris didn't have that effect on me. Also, with other games, they use a lot of bright colors, or sometimes they use dark colors. And recently what I've noticed with my eyes is that I'm having a more difficult time seeing dark colors. So if I'm in a dark room, or if it's black shelf and there's objects on that shelf, it's harder for me to distinguish the items. So everything has to be bright for me to see them better. So with regular games that are using darker colors, I can't really see the images that well unless the settings of the laptop are super bright. But the blue light that emanates from the TV and the laptop gives me a lot of headaches. So I tend to use the red light so that it blocks the blue light, so that it does not prevent my body from producing melatonin. I think that's how you say it, which is a hormone that regulates sleep. However, when you use the red light, if you're watching something that's dark color, it darkens it even more, to the point that, well, you can't see much. But with Gris, I didn't have that problem. I would use the red light and I could still see those images. And because I really wanted to fully appreciate the colors of this video game, there were times that I did take off the red light and I was able to play the game for about 30 minutes before the blue light started to bother my eyes. But it's because Gris has these beautiful, soft pastel colors that, yes, even though there's blue light, it's not overpowering. It's not coming right at you like, hey, look at me. They are beautiful colors. They're very gentle to the eyes. The other interesting thing about this video game is that many times I truly felt like I was watching an animated film that was made with watercolor illustrations. And I reminded myself that no, it's a video game, because I was able to control the main character. There was a comment that I read in another review, or I think it might have been something that was tweeted at Nomada Studios, and that was that Gris is interactive art that makes you reflect, which is very true, because there were many times that I would pause while I was playing the game and just sit there and just take in the beautiful images, and I would say, wow, so I guess this tree probably represents this, and so forth. Like, I just had to pause and appreciate the art. Also, I want to congratulate Nomada Studios for recently winning the Webby Award for Best Visual Design. Prior to winning that award, they had been nominated for a BAFTA Game Award. So this game has been doing pretty well. Reason number 4, and that is music and sound. Last but definitely not least, the music and sound in this game are incredibly amazing. The soundtrack was written and produced by Berlinist. I have it on repeat on Spotify, and I also bought it on iTunes because I want this soundtrack everywhere. The music in this video game go well together. You cannot separate them. The images do not overpower the music, and neither does the music with the images. They work in partnership. I think the reason why I was feeling all these emotions as I was playing this game, it wasn't just because of the images. It was also because of the music. It's like the music was evoking these emotions. For example, in the green chapter, when Gris is walking through the forest, the song, I think it's called Komorebi. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So in that chapter, I kept inhaling and exhaling deeply. It created this Zen environment. The music has this sound almost as if it's mimicking inhalation and exhalation. In the game, you also hear nature sounds. So in this chapter, you hear the leaves rustling in the wind. So with this beautiful piece of music, and with her walking on the grass, and you hear her footsteps stepping on the ground, and you can hear these relaxing sounds, you almost feel your feet walking on the grass. You feel as if you are in nature. There's even a podcast that I was listening to where Berlinist was interviewed. And one of the things that they said is, if I remember this correctly, one of their music members went to Japan to record the sound of these very specific birds, so that in the game you are listening to authentic nature sounds. These sounds are real. They're not created in a studio. And you can definitely see the Japanese influence in this game. The music is very minimalist but effective. Initially, the video that I wanted to make was me playing Gris and showing you these small details that the ASMR community would really appreciate. For example, in the first chapter where everything is gray, you see these small rocks that sprout legs and they're moving, and you can hear the footsteps. Is very subtle, but not to the ASMR lover. And that is something that I wanted to bring attention to. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the settings right on my laptop. So every time I would try to record the game, it just wasn't coming out the way that I wanted to. Perhaps in the future, as I learn more about this, I can improve the settings and bring this video to you sometime in the future. In conclusion, Gris is showing that you don't have to be a game with loud music or sounds or have bold colors to be entertaining. As a non-gamer, I know I am being very bold in saying this, so in my humble opinion, I think that Gris is doing to video games what the ASMR community did to the YouTube platform 10 years ago. When ASMR came into the picture, there was no place for quiet entertainment. And as the ASMR community grew and grew, we as a community, we are proving to the world that there is a place for quiet entertainment. There are people who are looking for different outlets where they can safely express their emotions, the sadness, or they're looking for a quiet place where they can just reflect and recharge their batteries and so forth. I am not saying that ASMR and Gris replace medical therapy. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that sometimes we want to listen to quiet music. Sometimes we want to watch a quiet movie, something that's just a little more easygoing. But sometimes we don't want neither. What if we want to play a video game, something that's quiet and relaxing, but it isn't available? Well, now it is. And I think that quiet entertainment should be available in all formats, literature and so forth. Like, it should continue to grow because there are people such as yourself, such as myself, who are looking for this kind of stuff. When I finished playing Gris, the last scene made me cry. Not because the game was over, but it was because of the message. I was crying. It brought out these feelings because, again, everyone will or have experienced loss. And sometimes you just need to get those emotions out because for some of us it is part of the healing. Sometimes it can be detrimental to keep those emotions inside. So I know I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah, this game made me cry. And when I read other comments on other reviews, a lot of people were expressing that. Now, I don't know if this is something that Nomada Studios set out to do, but there is something in this game that is resonating with so many people on an emotional level. I'm sure that many of us will continue talking about this game, and I really cannot wait to see what else is in store for Nomada Studios. What else are they working on? I'm in love with this game. I'm in love with the character. I truly, truly love this game. I highly recommend it. And I think that if you love this game, please go out and support it because that sends the message that there is a place for these types of video games. I hope you have enjoyed this point of view, this video. And if you have, please click like, comment, and subscribe. Again, I hope you're doing well and hope to see you soon.